Hey everybody, SJ here. So we're live on Facebook and I'm here for the official notification, the official launch of the Posture Clinic at the Yoga Practice Place Indus Clinic Glasgow and the clinic over in the West End. So this is my official launch. Some of you may know that over the last all of this year I have been working on my American Posture Institute certification, and last month, actually the beginning of this month, it's still July technically, I passed. So it was a bit of a slog, but I did it. I passed. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to now give you your full clinical screenings, because I haven't been able to do that as such. So what does that mean? Because we have been doing posture screenings in the studio for many years now, so what's the difference? Massive difference. So basically, I'm just kind of waving these bits of paper here. These are the screenings that I use. You probably can't fully see all that, but what will happen in the clinical screening is it's a 70-minute screening, and it's going to go through all of your posture areas. So you've got 4 posture quadrants. Posture quadrant 1 would be your neck, posture quadrant 2, so this area up. Posture quadrant 2 will be your torso, posture quadrant 3 is your pelvis, and posture quadrant 4 would be anything below the pelvis, your lower limb area. And I get into very, very, very big detail in checking all of those areas to really work out where your distortions are, and how that's maybe affecting your life. So let me just go through some of the distortions that we have, and some of the side effects that you may or may not be getting in those areas that you may not even associate with posture. So the first one is posture quadrant 1. So if we think about forward head posture, so this kind of area up here. So some of the presentations that you might present with would be forward head posture. So you've probably seen some of my videos where I've been talking about forward head posture. Many of us have this. Lateral flexion. Okay, you might have like one head sitting like this. You might not be aware of it. I'm over exaggerating this. Or you might have like a head rotation. Quite a lot of us have like tightness and strain on one side more than the other. Some of the symptoms associated with some of these postural presentations can include, but aren't limited to, things like neck pain, headaches, migraines, fatigue, pain and tingling in the arm, decreased energy, fibromyalgia and insomnia, disruption to your sleeping patterns, disruption to that foggy head syndrome. These types of things are all things that can be associated with how you hold your posture quadrant 1 area. So that's the first area that I'd be assessing, and I'd be assessing it in that detail. But I'd also be doing, during this assessment, I'd be doing some correction protocol as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. So posture quadrant 2 would be looking at anything from the neck down in that kind of torso area. So some of the presentations that may be present would be the hyperkyphotic type posture. So what we mean there is that kind of over humped area in your upper back. You may have anterior shoulder displacement, so that just means effectively your shoulders are rolling in. So you ever feel like you're quite tight along the chest area, and almost like you're like monkey-like with your arms. Chest flexion, so meaning that you're kind of forward, or scoliosis. So these are just some of the presentations or the signs that I'm looking for when I'm screening you. You may not have all of them, you may have different ones. Some of the disorders, some of the symptoms that you may be experiencing if you have this type of posture, you may not even relate this to your posture, are things like asthma, shortness of breath, thoracic outlet syndrome, carpal tunnel syndrome, lateral and medial epicondylitis, shoulder capsulitis, back pain, digestion dysfunction and decreased circulation. A lot of people don't really associate these types of things with their postural presentation, but your posture is so massively related to your overall general health and well-being. Posture quadrant 3, the next area that I assess down is your pelvis area. So some of the distortions that I might see in that area would be anterior pelvic tilt. So tilting tends to be the women more so than men with this. Men tends to be more posterior, but nonetheless. So some sort of distortion with the pelvis. So you may have, if you've got that anterior tight, you may have slight lordotic, so over curvature down the bottom of your spine, or you may have pelvic unleveling. You may be presenting where it may look like you've got one leg longer than the other. All of that will be checked. And some of the symptoms that you may be associated with that, but again, not limited to, things like lower back pain, sciatica, SI joint dysfunction, digestion dysfunction, urinary incontinence, and painful menstruation. So these are the types of things that we can, that you might not associate with how you're presenting posture-wise, but are very much related to your posture and can be causing you these types of symptoms just based on how you're sitting day in and day out. Please don't underestimate underestimate the importance of that. Then finally, the posture quadrant 4 is your lower limb. So what I'm mainly looking for here would be things like foot pronation, so feet rolling in, things like toe out flare, and hyperextension of the knees. So these are the kind of main common posture presentations that I see there. Some of the signs and symptoms that you might be getting if you're doing some or any of these things down in that area would be affecting your gait. So you might have abnormal gait, so how you're walking, which has massive effects on the whole kinetic chain. And plantar fasciitis, you ever like get really tight or sore, burny pain in your feet. Chronic ankle instability. Sorry ladies, again for you, this tends to be what I see in the clinic, where we've got a lot of instability in the ankles, going over in the ankles, sprains in the ankles, wearing silly shoes, all these things. Knee osteoarthritis, hammer toe, bunion, shin splints. So very, very general there for that one. But again, you can see the importance of how your posture is presented in that lower limb as well, and how that will have a massive effect all the way up that kinetic chain. So that is the areas that will be getting looked at. So you can see from head to toe is looked at and clinically assessed. I will also be doing the spinal push test, where I'm looking for instability in the spine, and I'm actually very, very precisely pinpointing where any instability is, but also correcting that instability on the day as well. So I'll not just be going, oh yeah, this is wrong with you, and not giving you anything for correcting it. So during the clinical screening, what will happen is, as I said, it's about 70 minutes. We'll do an absolute thorough posture check. And you will get your posture images taken, and we will go through if I need to get the tape measure out and measure your ASIS to your medial malleolus, if I need to be measuring your leg length discrepancy, if there's whatever the issues are, then that will be done on the day. But I'll also be going through the complete posture correction protocol, which will go through each posture quadrant, and it will do the correction of that. So, for example, posture quadrant 1, we would be doing the lateral head flexion correction. So whether that is PNF stretches or adjustment, it really just depends on you. There'll also be posture quadrant 2, which will be the clavicle manoeuvre. So I'll be looking at, is there any indiscrepancies on your shoulder heights, or is there that anterior rolling, so that kind of rounding forwards of the shoulders. That manoeuvre will be done on the day if appropriate, and so to help with that, to release that out. And I've got a lot of clients that actually find that very, very, very beneficial. Posture quadrant 2 again, torso area, so there'll be that thoracic spine correction. So where the thoracic just means the longest part of your spine, that middle part of your spine, we'll be doing a manoeuvre there. So it might be releasing or showing you where to do them. And also from there, we will also be doing your ribs. So that breathing scan, looking at your breath, looking at how your diaphragm is working, because a lot of tightness, a lot of shortness of breath, a lot of breathing, respiratory problems are coming from that area. Posture quadrant 3, we'll be looking at lumbar, so we'll be doing the lumbar roll with the block to correct the area around that pelvis area. And then also posture quadrant 3, the pelvis, so checking the ASIS and the medial malleolus to make sure that there's no leg length discrepancy, and also basically helping fix that, correct that if need be. And that would be the leg length analysis with drops on the PSIS. So basically I'd be having you on the table, be rolling you over, and be doing a little bit of just drops. It's not sore, it's not, you won't feel anything at all. It's quite nice actually. And then posture quadrant 4, you would be having your feet, obviously be looking at that, would be I'd be checking motion, palpation and correction, and then I would be taking the talus, I'd be doing the talus pull, the foot rotation, and doing some correction there as well. So not only will we be getting that report of findings, but you'll also be getting some correctional work on the day as well. But also I will be, if appropriate, prescribing you exercises to do at home, and you will get our full app access to me with that. So, my goodness, that was a lot in 10 minutes, wasn't it? So it's quite in-depth, very, 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 it's a full clinical screening. Now, the launch price of this is £55, it's 70 minutes. Now, that's the launch price. I have yet to set the price for this, but really, some of the clinics around the US are charging $195 for this full screening. And I'm aware I'm in Glasgow. I'm aware that I need to be to keep it affordable, and I don't want to become elitist. But that's where this is priced in the US just now, $195 for this. So my launch price is $55, but for the launch of this, and for the first 10 people, I am going to give 10 of you this for £40. So for 10 of you only. Now, my diary, if you've ever tried to get an appointment with me, you can sometimes have a month wait. That's just how it is. Unless you're a regular client with regular appointments, with your regular structure, you're paid up in advance, you can sometimes wait a month for an appointment. I am putting out tomorrow, I'm going to be putting out my more bookings, and this will be for the 10 people that buy this. 10, that is it. That's all I can do. There is only me doing this. And there will be a combination of evenings and daytime appointments and weekend appointments over the next 2 weeks. So you will get an appointment within the next, whether you want it in the next couple of days or whether you want it within the next 2 weeks, there will be availability there right up until, really, if you don't need it that soon, you can, of course, use it later. So for £40, which is an absolute bargain, get booking this. The link is going to go live probably in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to send an email out. Look out for it. I might just stick the link in with this video as well once the email's out. So it's literally first 10, that is it. There's no, this is never going to run again, because this is, I don't need to do this. I want to get this launched. I want to get people in, and I want you seeing the results, feeling the results, and seeing what I'm doing. It is a wee bit weird, I'll be honest with you. Some of the manoeuvres, some of the things that we do, that we fix, you'll be like, what is she doing? Go with it. It works. It's not sore. It's just a bit weird. That's probably how I would describe it. A bit weird, but it works. A lot of my one-to-one clients, I'm already doing a lot of this stuff with them on, but this is now I'm launching the full clinical screening. It is from head to toe, your complete posture correction. This is the American Posture Institute's complete posture correction protocol that I'm using. Tried and tested, and yeah, it is bloody awesome. That's all I need to say. So if you want to be one of those 10, look out for the email. It's going to be going on, or just keep a wee eye on this video down below it, and then go on and book your one-to-one appointment. The appointments I am going to sit later on tonight after I have taught my classes and taught my clients that I have in this evening. I will then be adding more availability onto my diary, so that will be live probably about 11 p.m. tonight. My availability will be live, so be quick with that, because it will fill up really quickly. And for the first 10, you'll get this at £40. The launch price, if you were to go onto the website right now for this launch price, would be £55. So don't buy it through the website. Don't just book for the appointment, because you will be charged £55. Book it through the link that you get with this, because they will go. They will go in the next hour. These will be gone. So get that booked. £40. I will do your full clinical screening. And yeah. That's it. Right, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to have a coffee before classes. Come along to Trigger Point Pilates tonight. That is on at 6 o'clock. And make sure you check out the timetable, because there is 2 new classes added to the timetable. We have a new maintenance reformer class on every Wednesday evening. So that's an additional class. That's at 5:30. Some of you have been asking for earlier evening classes so you can come straight from work. So that is now on. Starts this week, and it's with myself. And then after that, we have the posture Pilates. Again, this is on 6:15, and again, only for people, that specific class is only for people who have at least done their fundamentals in reformer. It's not appropriate if you've not done it. You're using equipment, you need to be safe, so you have to have done your fundamentals. I'm sorry if you've not, but it wouldn't be appropriate for you. So if you have any questions, please just comment below. I'll do my best to answer. I'm sure Louise will be on here as well very soon, and if not, I'll catch us all soon in class.